should be live, in theory. I'm still not sure all the time. Let's wait for people to arrive. Hello, Corey. First comment or first chat reply. Hello, Sony. We are live, yes, confirmed. Okay. I still get nervous every time I go live for some reason. Hello, Yokotube. Hi. So today we're gonna be doing what the title says pretty much, and then also I want to do like a character tier list, because I'm pretty much taking a break from editing right now, just like last time. Hello Spinorex, a random person, hello. Well, let me see if I can open up the chat on my phone, just to see you guys better. Okay, there we go. It's okay, it's kind of natural. Yeah, probably, but still. So yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit for more people to arrive. Hello, the Living Tribunal. I guess I can give a quick update on part 15, like how's it going so far. I am about 80% done with it, and right now all that's left is like the non-intense editing parts. So it's gonna go by pretty quickly, I would say, because the remaining parts of the video will be a lot easier to edit than some of the previous, like some of the first half and like stuff like that. When will the whole part come out? I'm not sure, because I have actually commissioned a thumbnail for it, like a custom thumbnail, so I'll see when that gets delivered. But so far I'm planning to make it public next weekend, or this weekend I suppose it would be. See, my name is Spino as in Spinosaurus, and R as in Tapiar, and then Rex. Spiniar? Spiniar Rex? Something like that? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. HA hi, I'm Grants, hello. So yeah, I'm about 80% done with that. It should come out it will come out this weekend. It's just like, I'm wondering if I'll get the thumbnail before then or not. But yeah. So, I figure while we wait, because right now we have, what, 10 viewers? So I think we can wait until we get like 20. I think that's probably a good place to start the actual like stream of the first few minutes. I do have like a character tier list prepared for One Punch Man. I don't know if you guys want to do that one or not. Just like ranking them from like best to worst or how much I like them, stuff like that. Or we could just get into the stream right now, and then we could delete the stream right after, so nobody sees the teaser, the spoilers, I guess. Commission thumbnail, nice. Yeah, the first time I've commissioned it. I had a custom thumbnail made once before, but that one wasn't commissioned. Like, the person just made it out of the goodness of their heart, which I am grateful for. Yeah. Rose actually crafting an amazing story, though. Oh, thank you. Super awesome. I'd like to see the tier list. Yeah, we can do the tier list. I'm thinking right now we can do like a few characters, and then when we have like 20 viewers or so, or 15, or however many, we can get into the stream. Do you think Togashi will end Hunter x Hunter eventually or not? I would say probably not, in all honesty, because he's got some serious health issues, so I don't think he's going to manage to end it. Like, honestly, I don't want him to continue because he's just putting himself at risk. Like, you know, burdening himself a lot by doing that. Okay, let's see. Okay, you guys should see the tier list now as well. Before I was in another window, now you guys should see the tier list. Sounds good? Yeah. So I think we can do a few characters and then move on to the stream for the part. Obviously, I'm not doing everybody here. That would just be kind of ridiculous. I'm gonna do the characters I'm kind of interested in, at least. You know, like I'm not gonna include Smile Man or whatever. It's cool enough to include. You see it? Okay, that's good. I'm thinking we could probably just start with like the S-class heroes, because that's a good baseline, right? Pure Blood, I don't know. Is Pure Blood cool enough to include in the tier list? Six viewers now. Yeah, we kinda dropped. Maybe we should just do the stream now. What do you guys say? Can't Togashi hire someone to draw the manga? Yeah, probably he could in theory, but like, as someone who is also making a story myself, I definitely understand the desire to just keep making it by yourself, not getting others involved, because then you can say like, oh, this is something that I made, this is something entirely of like my own, you know, it came out of my own head, I drew it, I did it, like I created this, I can be proud of it. If you give up part of it, then you kind of don't, you can't really say that anymore. Like you can't say it's entirely your own creation. What did I miss? Nothing much. We're just waiting for more people. In the meantime, I'm just organizing the tier list a little bit. I think we can probably just do the stream though, and then move on to the tier list later. Because I feel like to you guys who are here right now, if you have to go at any point, it won't be fair. It's like you came here to see the 4 minutes of the new part, and instead you're getting like a tier list. So nothing, or I missed all of it. It's 50-50, isn't it? Ah, you didn't miss anything really. I think we can start the 4 minutes though. We have 11 people, that's enough. Hey, yo, Chad, is this real? What, like the stream? Because I'm gonna be showing the first 4 minutes of part 15, yeah. I did this for part 14 as well. But with part 14 I showed more than 4 minutes. This time that's not happening, this time I'm just showing 4 minutes. Okay, thanks. So, the delay on the chat is a little bit wonky sometimes. I can't really see any messages right now. We have 10. Yeah, I think that's enough. I think I can probably start streaming the thing. 12 people now. Yeah, I think we have enough. So I'll play the first few seconds, then you tell me if the volume is good, and then I'm gonna play the rest of it. Alright? Boros turns to face the newcomer. He said his name was... Blast? Wait, the #1 hero? The volume good? All good? Now 12 blessed people are gonna get a sneak peek at work. Yeah, that's fair. Let's go. Okay, so I'm just gonna start and let it play out, and I'm not gonna waste you guys' time anymore. Boros turns to face the newcomer. He said his name was... Blast? Wait, the #1 hero? He's here? And he called this new form of Phoenix Man God, too. He knows about God? Boros looks at the man in disbelief and eyes him up and down. The power radiating from him is certainly impressive enough to be on the level of what the #1 ranked hero should be. Blast? Yep. And you must be Boros, the self-proclaimed dominator of the universe.
I've heard of your exploits, and I can't say I'm very happy to see you here on Earth.
Blast says as he drops his smirk. Boros looks at the hero confused. He, an Earthling, knows of his existence? Humans haven't even figured out space travel yet. How on earth does this guy know who he is? Questions for later. Right now they have bigger problems at hand.
I've been on this planet for a while now. Lots has changed. I was fighting a monster in order to protect the Earth, but now it has received incredible power. I can sense that you're strong. We should team up to defeat it, at least for now.
Blast turns to Boros with an unsure expression on his face.
You, fighting to protect a planet? You seriously expect me to believe that?
I told you, lots has changed.
While the two heroes bicker, Cosmic Flame Phoenix Man looks at the situation. This is a perfect chance to squash two of the bugs who are constantly meddling with his plans. Perfect. He raises his arm and points a palm at the two men before him.
Form 3, Black Hole.
He mutters, and a sphere of gravity appears in his hand. In the next instant, everything around the cosmic horror starts getting sucked in. Blast and Boros feel the pull immediately and dig their heels into the moon's surface. Unfortunately, the rocks underneath them start getting pulled in as well, and they both soon lose their footing.
Forget our squabble for now. Let's focus on taking this thing down first.
Boros shouts to Blast, who quickly thinks the situation over and determines that this vessel of God is obviously the greater threat here.
Fine, let's go.
Blast responds before spreading his hands out and clapping his fists together before forming a sphere of energy in his palms and launching it at the black hole in Phoenix Man's hand.
Dimension Cannon!
The hero yells out, intending to teleport the black hole into another time-space entirely. However, Phoenix Man quickly extends his other arm and catches the portal in his palm. Blast's eyes widen in shock as the cosmic creature effortlessly grips his attack with his fingers and crushes it, scattering the energy.
I am God. I rule over the cosmos. Your pitiful spatial manipulation pales in comparison to mine, human.
Phoenix Man declares as the pull of the black hole increases further, making it increasingly difficult for Blast and Boros to stay away.
I'm not sure what you just tried to do here, but I have an idea. If I use my full power, I might be able to shatter the black hole, but I can only use it in short bursts. Once I power up, we'll have only about a minute before I run out of steam.
Shatter a black hole, huh? Let's try it.
Blast responds and the two heroes get ready for an all-out assault. The number one hero claps his hands together, and for a few moments, the gravity around Boros and himself becomes lighter, and the pull weakens.
I'll keep the gravity at bay for a few moments. Power up!
Right.
Boros says before squatting down.
And that's all you get for the teaser. I know this is a blue ball. The place where this leaves off is quite a cliffhanger, but, you know, I think it's fine. I think you guys can wait a couple days or a few days for the full part to come out. There was a whole debate about, like, who's drippier, Boros or Blast. Well, not a debate, just a couple comments. Why doesn't he go Meteoric Burst to keep up? Right now, he doesn't, like, doesn't need to keep up with anybody in this clip. Like, they're not moving at particularly fast speeds right now. It's just one attack. Bro, Edges, no, it ended. I was hoping to see Meteoric Burst. You'll get to see him, just not right now. Meteoric Burst, what a cliffhanger. Bamboozled, yeah. How strong is Phoenix Man compared to Gara right now? I will say like, I am of the belief that Meteoric Burst Boros in canon is somewhat relative to, like, initial Cosmic Fear Garo, like the very first version before he copied any of Saitama's moves and stuff. So, I did say in the last part, or Boros said, that Phoenix Man, just as his Firestorm form, would be able to give canon Meteoric Burst Boros kind of a rough time in a fight. And now he got an incomplete God boost on top of that. So yeah. Blast is so cool, man. Yeah, Blast is really cool. I've been having a lot of fun with him. Damn, just when it was getting good. Yeah, that's kind of the point of a teaser, you know? That's kind of the point. The strongest hero King is about to hold all of them. King, I will say... actually, no, I won't say, because it would be spoilers. I was about to spoil that he comes in and beats sorry. No spoilers. Saitama is our only hope. We shall see. It's good, though, from the sound of the fight. What we got to see, nice. Can I turn on the volume? You mean, like, turn the volume up? Or turn up, like, the music in the background or stuff. Is Saitama going to appear? We don't know. We do not know. My memory of all of my editing and writing has been erased right now. I don't know what happens in part 15. I can't say anything. I wonder if you have plans with Garo, especially since he got his ass kicked by Goketsu. I mean, he didn't... I mean, he kind of got his ass kicked, but then he got a comeback. He went Spiral. He did get a few hits in on Goketsu. I do have plans, but it's not happening right now, I'll say that. Right now, he's sort of power crept a lot, so, you know, he needs time to catch up. Heyo King, Lore King. King can solo the Dragonverse. I assume Dragon Ball? Yeah, probably. Omni King Zeno would just make him his friend, and then Zeno would just kill everybody that tries to go after King. A Dragon Ball verse, you know? Yeah. Also, somebody earlier in chat, let me find it real quick. Find it real quick. Yeah, Yakutub said, bro thinks he's Demon Slayer, lol. About the forms, I assume. These are inspired by Demon Slayer, like the names. You know, form something something, this and that. But overall, there is a reason for them. It's said in part 15 at some point. So yeah. Coco tickle King's feet, for real. But yeah, do we want to do like the character tier list? 'Cause I can do a few characters. I don't want to do too many of them, because I don't have as much time, like, to do all of these, but I can do the major ones. I'll probably do the S-class heroes and some of the cadres. A couple other heroes too, like Suiryu as well. People like that. Let's see, who else do we include in the tier list? Rover, of course. Everybody loves Rover. Deep Sea King can be included, why not? Is God Infinity Gauntlet level? Who knows? Infinity Gauntlet is wonky, because, like, with only the Power Stone, it's, like, what, planet level? But then with, like, all 6, it's suddenly universal. Hey, listen, there's this one character, I don't know what's his name, nor the anime name, but he's got, like, powers, he's OP as fuck. I don't know what you're talking about, I'm gonna say. Is Boros stronger than Cosmic Garo in your story? Because Boros said to Phoenix Man that he is in the beginning of his potential.
Okay, I'll say that, like, for current Boros, like, the intent is to have his released form be a little bit above, or like, a solid chunk above Meteoric Burst in canon. And I already believe Meteoric Burst in canon is relative to Cosmic Fear mode, initial Cosmic Fear mode. So if it's like peak Cosmic Aura, then obviously not, like, Boros isn't that strong. But if it's initial Cosmic Aura, I would say yeah, probably. Like, Cosmic Aura is kinda power crept here a little bit. And that's a lot of characters. Yeah, this list has so many. This list has too many. It has like Garo's bullies from those flashbacks and stuff. It's actually wild. In my range of headcanon to this alternate universe, similar to Saitama, Boros is gonna break his limit, as Boros stated in part 14. Gonna become stronger and eventually beat Cosmic Fear. Keep going, great. Thanks. That's a solid theory, I'll say. Garden Blast powers, he could basically gain most of the powers of Tatsumaki and Genos with gravity manipulation. To some extent, yeah, but we don't know how much he can manipulate gravity exactly. His gravity manipulation could be very limited or very broken, we just don't know yet. We haven't seen that much of him, so we can't really say. Who else do we include? Who else am I missing? Like, that's important enough to rank. Hellfire, I don't know. I don't really think Hellfire is that important to rank. Maybe I should have tried to just find like a list of cadres and S-class heroes together. Let's see, let's just get all the people that I want to rank in here. Will Boros become stronger than Cosmic Garo? Maybe. Who knows? What's the tier list about? It's just about like how good the characters are, or how good I think they are, in my opinion. Or just how much I like them in general. Who am I missing, guys? Is anybody important enough to be ranked here? Like, is there anyone you want to hear my thoughts about in the list? I don't think I've grabbed Blast yet, but I haven't seen him. Who can defeat Gojo in One Punch Man verse other than Saitama and God? Actually, like, there's a YouTuber named Prodigy. We're pretty good friends with him. He's doing a video on Boros versus Gojo, and I feature in it a little bit. So you can go watch that when that comes out. I'm gonna probably plug it in my community tab and stuff. So there's gonna be a video on that. But in terms of Gojo specifically, I don't know too much about him. So I'm not exactly the most qualified to talk about Gojo, I just talk about Boros there. Can Boros kick away Garo's hyperspace gate like Saitama? Probably not. Like, Saitama has certain like immunities to like mental things and also to like certain hexes and stuff, like we've seen with Phoenix Man as well. So is Blast as strong as Release Boros because Release Boros is above canon Meteoric Burst Boros? Blast is weird. Blast ranges from being like initial Cosmic Garo level or above that a little bit to being like serious punch level all of a sudden for no reason. And there was no reason for him to hold back in speed at all as well. So, I don't know. Blast is really weird. Wins Gojo or double Mangekyo Kakashi, in my opinion. Funny enough, Prodigy also has a video on that. If you just search up like Kakashi versus Gojo... Actually no, it probably won't find him, he's not that big of a YouTuber. I'm gonna link his channel soon enough though when his video comes out, so I think you can watch it then. I think you can start the tier list probably, like if there's anybody missing, I'll add them later. Boros versus Momoshiki would probably be a good fight. I'm planning to do Boros versus Madara at some point. I actually already have a thumbnail made for that as well. Hold on, let me just really quickly. I can bring up the thumbnail if you guys want. One moment. I have a video on Boros versus Madara coming out, basically, is the point that I wanted to say. Let's see. I want to show you the thumbnail because I think it looks pretty good, but... Okay, there we go. There's the thumbnail for Boros versus Madara. I think that's a pretty decent matchup. Maybe Blast can only output what he needs to keep up with or something. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't think that would make too much sense. Naruto versus Cosmic Fear Garo. I don't want to get into that type of scaling. I'll say if you think Garo is universal or like Naruto is universal, then, you know, like, you can get into weird stuff. Okay, I'll say this. If you think Naruto is universal, he claps. If you think Naruto is mountain level, he gets clapped. I'll say that. Because I've seen people scale him anywhere from those two levels. Noodles even made a video on like multiversal Naruto and stuff. So, you know, stuff gets wild. Boros versus... Please don't ask power scaling. I'm really sick of power scaling for the most part. That Boros versus Madara video I'm interested in, but like for the most part I don't want to do power scaling much. Boros versus MCU Thanos. I definitely think Boros, because MCU doesn't have that good of a speed meta going on. So Boros kind of blitzes and just beats him up. Like, Thanos is really durable and strong, but he's not, like, that fast to keep up with Boros. And versus Superman DCU, I'm not going to say anything, because Superman, I don't know that much scaling of him from the DCU. I know if it was like comic Thanos or comic Superman, they obviously beat up Boros really, really badly. Boros can't touch the Limbo clone. Yeah, I'm gonna get into a lot of that. Okay, so I'll probably start the tier list now, so... Who do you guys think is good to start with? I think just going to like the S-class heroes for the most part is like a good way to start it. I can include a couple other heroes as well, just for the fun of it. So let's start with Zombie Man, because why not? Zombie Man is really raw. I really like him. I would say he's B tier though, because he's really cool, but he doesn't really do that much in the series. He doesn't really have that big of a role to play. He hasn't done that much. The most interesting developments with him have been with Dr. Genius, with him like wanting to get his limiter removed and things like that. Do you think if Boros keeps breaking his limits and eventually breaks his limiter, he could take on Saitama? If he breaks the limiter and starts training really intensively, I think he could probably catch up to Saitama at some point. If Saitama doesn't train intensively. Like at some point in the future, like if Boros did break his limiter, yeah, I feel like he could catch up. Madara outscales and hexes, so I don't know. Yeah, I'll get to Madara like in that video. Atomic Samurai, I think is A tier, because he's really fun, and he does have some good, Actually, no, I'll say... I don't know, because he's really fun to watch for me, But he doesn't do that much also. Like the Sunblade kind of comes out of completely nowhere and doesn't really even do all that much for him. He's fun though, as a character in the latest chapters with King as well. I'll say he's high B tier also. B Zombie Man, the average Detroit. Then Tatsumaki, okay, I'm gonna say A tier probably for Tatsumaki. Because she does have a lot of good development, she has a lot of lore relevance, she has a lot of plot, you know. She has a lot more going on than these guys do. Because she has like a whole mini arc for herself and Fubuki in, you know, One Punch Man and the Psychic Sisters arc. She has the whole fight with Sairochi, her dynamics with like Psychos and stuff. So I think it's fair to put her in A tier. So can anyone become like Saitama if they break their limiter? Probably, I would say. Because right now we have no reason to believe otherwise. Okay, Puri Puri Prisoner is F tier. If you've read the manga, you know why. If you haven't read the manga, God bless your soul, do not read the manga bonus chapter where Puri Puri first appears. You do not want to know what he does to people. F tier. Like, no debate, no discussion, just F tier. In stark contrast, Silver Fang... I think he's like A tier below Tatsumaki, because his dynamics with Garo are fun. But the biggest thing with him, when he's fighting Garo for the second time, Garo is asleep. We don't really even get that many like exchanges between them. Which is something that I would expect a lot more of from the series, honestly, like master-student going at it. But Bang's inner monologues and all that stuff is really fun. I'd say he's like on the same level as Tatsumaki for me personally. Does Saitama have skills, or is he just pure strength? Oh, pure strength. Definitely pure strength for now. He did copy Garo's martial arts at one point in the battle, in between them, so I guess he would have martial arts there, but then he regresses immediately afterwards. SS. Is that for Tatsumaki or for Bang or Puri? Because the chat delay, I don't really know where it went. I believe that you're gonna make Tatsumaki and Boros together in the end. No. God, no. They are gonna be friends, not anything more than that. Do you prefer manga Tatsumaki or webcomic Tatsumaki? I haven't read the webcomic fully, so I can't really say that much. I have heard that Tatsumaki is a lot more like psychotic in the webcomic, there's less like shipping material and stuff. And I will say I don't like all the shipping material of Saitama. Like, I don't like that. But in general, I like Tatsumaki a lot, like the development she gets and stuff like that. Bro, Boros x Tatsumaki would be weird. Yeah, it would be. That's why it's not happening. Could Saitama mentally survive a New York subway? I've never been to New York, so I can't really say. Does God have a limiter? Probably not, I would imagine, as the final villain. But who knows, we shall see. It was dope how Garo reminded him of his old self. Yeah. That would be... That was dope. How does Boros' race reproduce? Okay, we should not. I don't want to get into Frieza discussions now. Because it's the same deal as Frieza, we just don't know. King is S tier, for sure. The funniest character in the series, has a lot of plot relevance, keeps getting plot armor, heaps of it. I would say he's easy S tier. Like, come on. Puri should get death sentence for all his assaults. Yes. Hope you guys have fun here. I got to get going. See you later. See you later, a random person. Hope you have a good day. Hell yes, keeping Tatsumaki and Boros as friends is a big W. Oh, for sure, I'm not making them lovers. No, hell no. They're just friends. What if God started out like Saitama but eventually monsterized? That could be interesting, but at the same time I feel like it would make God kinda lame. Like if he was just another guy. Like, because, like, all the monsters we've seen so far, most of them have been humans that monsterized. Or, like, cats or dogs that monsterized, you know, you get the idea. Like, most of them. Not all, but most of them. So making God just another one of those, I don't think would be very fun. Drive Knight, then, I would say is, like, C tier. He's got some mysterious background and, like, mostly, like, the mysterious side of him is what intrigues me the most. I would say what intrigues most people the most, probably. But he hasn't really done that much. Maybe due to having a god complex. Who knows? If God transformed because he was just a human with a god complex. Bro, Light Yagami from Death Note turned into God after he died. That's now my official headcanon. That's what happened. Child Emperor, I'll say, is B tier, like high B tier, top of B tier for now. He's really fun, like the whole thing about him feeling the most responsibility out of all the S-Class and not feeling appreciated is really fun. The whole fighting style of him, just like kids' gadgets turned into deadly weapons, is really funny and fun to watch. So I'll say solid B tier for Child Emperor. King should have his own tier. Nah, S tier is fine. S tier is not gonna be full of people. There's gonna be only like a few people in here. If Saitama ended up with Fubuki, does that mean he can bank psychos, dude? No, dude, why? Why would you ask something like that? If Boros grows stronger and breaks his limit, are you gonna make him like an equal opponent for Saitama, or will he be inferior to Saitama? If I ever made Boros an equal to Saitama, people would get really mad. So, I don't know. I'll see. Bro, now we're talking about how Boros reproduces in chat? What is going on? Or he could pull a Cell Jr. and spawn a mini-me, yo, the next arc, the son of Boros. Oh my god. I'll say I don't think I'm gonna make that happen. If we get a son of Boros coming in One Punch Man, like for real, like, you know, the companion of Blast is like the son of Boros secretly in the official manga, that would be cool. It would be really funny. For Genos, I'll say he's bottom of B. I like him, but I don't really like him that much, honestly, like as many people do. For me, he's kinda cool, but like, I don't have any special like attachments to his character or anything. He's just there for me. Especially with the latest chapters where he's starting to doubt Saitama, and then I'm like thinking, yes, like please doubt Saitama, make this like an actual interesting character arc for yourself where maybe you realize that you need to like go your separate way from Saitama or something. But then like he just regresses right afterwards. Like Saitama says, no, I'm not exiting the Hero Association, and Genos just follows him like, okay, then I'm not doing that either. You know, like, I don't know, it seems kind of lame to me. Alright, chat, time to have a serious discussion on Boros. That's for reproduction. Oh my god. Okay, Darkshine. I will say Darkshine, I like him more than Genos, and more than Zombie Man, probably. I think I also like him more than Atomic Samurai. Like, he's just below Child Emperor and above Atomic Samurai. He's really cool. Like, the whole aesthetic with him is super funny. Like, there are panels where his head is the size of, like, half of his shoulder. And it's hilarious. The whole character, like, mini arc with him, where he's like a Boros knockoff, where, like, he wants to be Boros. He's looking for a good fight. But then he gets a good fight, and then he's like, nah, this is not what I wanted. Let me out of here. I'm scared. Like, that's a really fun spin on that trope of character. And then also him losing confidence later, and then regaining it and losing it again, you know? Like, I think his character has had a fun roller coaster. Boros performs mitosis. Genos' best waifu. Good oil, Dark Shine. Okay. I see what you did there. Metalbat, E tier. I hate Metalbat now. Well, okay, D tier, I'll say. I liked him enough to put him in like B or C tier before the Sage fight, but now he's D tier. He's just comes out and makes no sense at all. I've previously gone on rants about the Sage Centipede fight already, so I don't know if I should repeat myself here, but basically the gist of it is that he just completely messes up the power scaling in a way that's super distracting. Like, Garo just kept up with Flashy Flash and Platinum S and even Blitz's Limb, and then Metalbat in base is just keeping up with him for some reason. And people say Garo was holding back, and there is evidence to support this. Like, people from the sidelines are able to perceive Garo and Metalbat fighting, but they weren't able to perceive, like, Platinum S Flashy Flash Garo. So then you get this, like, interpretation that Garo just became an idiot and for some reason isn't going full speed. And, you know, people say he's holding back because of the type of opponent he's facing, but he literally wants to save, like, a helicopter full of people. It makes no sense for him to hold back at all. And I don't know, like, it's just really weird. It comes out of completely nowhere. And then he also turns Garo into a tsundere. Like, that's basically the start of tsundere Garo, is Metalbat. And, like, his rivalry, I guess, with Metalbat. So yeah, D tier for me. Definitely not any higher than that. You know what? That's actually a really good theory. Like, Boros wanted someone equal to himself, so he just had a son to surpass him. That's I think literally like what Netero from Hunter x Hunter does. Like, he has a son and hopes that he'll surpass him eventually. He even names the character, like Netero names his son Beyond Netero, so that he could, like, surpass him one day. That's pretty funny. Big W that they brought back Mosquito Girl. I disagree. I dislike Mosquito Girl a lot. Like, she's just pure fan service. I don't like her at all. I mean, he's pretty tall, but he's an alien. Whatever the... Oh my god, dude. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this out loud. Drop the topic? Yes, please. If Super Son and Garo Saitama, Sweetmask, Fubuki, Boros, Carnage, Kabuto, and Balm were S-Class heroes, oh, the Monster Association is screwed. The God and the Monster Association are screwed. Because God isn't gonna have anybody to make his vessel, and even if he does, they're just gonna get stomped instantly. Black holes are really belittled in fiction. I don't like it. They literally switch space and time, and their singularity is literally the concept of the future. To some extent, but I also feel like black holes aren't as crazy as people think. Like, in terms of destructive power or things like that. Tank Top Master, I think he's C tier below Drive Knight. There's not really that much going on with him. His gag is funny that he's like, ah yes, I must master the tank top or whatever. But overall, he's just a funny dude to watch on the sidelines, you know, he's not really anything too special. Mosquito Girl beats both Fubuki and Tatsumaki? No. I know what you mean, like, I don't think you mean that, like, power scaling wise, but no, just, I don't think she beats them in any regard whatsoever, aside from being annoying. Then for Bomb, honestly, I think I'll place him in A tier right next to Bomb, or Bang, sorry. Because I just like Bomb a lot. He's like the older brother. He's like, ah, my back hurts. Oh no, I'm getting old for this. Garo's coming out. Oh no, I gotta fight him. You know, like, I like him. He's funny to watch. Him with Bang, like, their dynamic is really fun. He's just like, I'm too old for this. I just like him. The dude's fun. I feel sad for him as well, like when he gets beat up. Watchdog Man, E tier. I don't get the hype. He's just there. Like, he's done absolutely nothing so far. How strong is Carnage Kabuto compared to the other S rank? He would be around Darkshine level because he pushes Darkshine to his limit. So, like, wherever you think Darkshine ranks among the S-Class is pretty much where Carnage Kabuto ranks, but just like a bit below. Supersonic versus Flashy Flash, who's winning? You mean like Speedo Sound Sonic? Because currently in the manga, the matchup is extremely one-sided. Flashy Flash completely destroys Sonic. I will say in the webcomic, Sonic does get better. I won't go into too many spoilers, because, you know, spoilers for the webcomic, I don't want to spoil people. But I will say Sonic does have better scaling later on, where the matchup actually becomes kind of interesting. Do you think Boros will be back in the actual series as a stronger villain or teammate with Blast? Maybe, but honestly I don't want him to return. Because like with the way the finale of the Monster Association arc was handled and the way things have been going since then, I'm not confident that they wouldn't mess Boros up and just like turn him into a joke. Tank top above, Metal Bat is criminal. If anything, I would want to place Metal Bat lower. So I'm being kind of generous to him with D tier, honestly. I'm a Metal Bat hater. Mosquito Girl did survive the serious slap. Will Gar join the Hero Association now that he's with Bang? Maybe, but I feel like that would be really out of character for him at the moment. Like, maybe eventually, but not right now. Like, he hates heroes for a reason. Yes, Audrey, I got a question for you, good sir. What was the first anime you ever watched? It was Dragon Ball, and I specifically remember that I was 5 years old when I watched it, because the TV said it was like PG-7, and I was doing it, I was technically illegally watching it, so that's why I just remember it to this day for this, that I was exactly 5 years old when I first saw it. I remember I also watched it for the first time in my grandmother's house a long time ago. So yeah, pretty nostalgic for me. Regular Mosquito versus God, who wins? Okay, Mosquito does outscale Saitama, but Saitama grows exponentially stronger to face Garo, who's like a portion of God. So I would say God outscales Mosquito, but Mosquito is still a God tier level threat. Like he beats Boros, he beats most of versions of Garo and things like that. Then moving on to Rover. I mean, like, it's hard to rank him. He doesn't really have much of a character per se. I feel bad placing him in like A tier or anything. I'll say in terms of how much I like him on screen, probably like middle of B tier, something like that. Because like he just doesn't have a character. He's like fun and all, but he doesn't have a character. Metal Knight is my top 5 favorite characters because he looks dope in his robot suit. Just imagine if he had a whole legions of robots at his disposal. Yeah, I can rank Metal Knight. He's cool and mysterious, but he hasn't done much at all. I do like that he was looking at the big picture when the kid got, like, kidnapped by the Monster Association. He's like, let's just nuke him. You know, he doesn't care. He just cares about, like, the big picture and the safety of the bigger number of people. I'll say he's C tier. Solid C tier for now. Could definitely be a lot higher. We just haven't seen that much of him yet. Alright team, I will be going. See you later. See you later, Lamb. Hope you have a good rest of the day. What heroes will join the S rank now that the ranks are thinning? I would say in some time, like Atomic Samurai's disciples could join, Amai Mask could join. Suryu's definitely gonna join at some point. Moomin Rider if he trains and becomes a lot stronger. Sonic I don't see becoming a hero. Ba maybe could enter to like replace Bang, but I don't think he'd want to. Dragon Ball is a really good start though. Yeah, I would say so. I want a show that shows the horror of falling into a black hole, the warping of vision, like anisotropic and inability to move without approaching the singularity, the switching of space and time. That could be interesting. I don't know enough about space to like talk too much about black holes. Elder Centipede, I think I'll place him like similarly to Rover. Like he doesn't have that much of a character. He has cool lore and he looks sick. Like he's just so badass. I think I'll just place him right next to Rover because I like them both pretty much equally. Like Rover is really fun to watch and cool, but I think Elder Centipede is just more badass. Like, you just see this giant centipede with, like, knives and claws and teeth and faces. Like, oh, just so good. Rover is a good dog. It's a dog. Dogs are always great. We almost did Metal Knight dirty. Dogs are good. Like, I have a dog myself. He's not here at the moment, though. He's downstairs. But yeah. The first anime I watched was Naruto. It was an episode from the tuning exam in the forest. I remember it was the fight against the big snake. I got too scared, turned off the TV. Yeah, that's a fun experience too. Naruto was my second anime. I watched the first 2 arcs of Shippuden and then I watched the rest of the series from start to finish. How do you think the world would react to Saitama's strength? They probably wouldn't believe it until they saw it. Like, that's definitely something I could see happening. Like, the S-Class heroes, when they find out, they wouldn't believe it. And then, like, someone like Flashy Flash could probably challenge him to a spar, like Atomic Samurai would challenge him to a spar. And then Saitama would just beat him up really badly. And then people would start believing, I think. I feel like Eren Genos is stronger than Zombie Man, to be honest. Oh, like, in terms of strength, this tier list would look totally different. Like, Genos is definitely far stronger than any of these people in this tier, like, currently. But I'm just ranking them as characters, not as, like, as combatants. Or, like, power scaling. In my opinion, I think Metal Knight will make Boros a cyborg, kind of like Mecha Frieza. It's possible. I'll say it's definitely possible. Okay, Garo. Don't get mad at me, but I think he's, like, bottom of A tier. If it was P-Garo, if it was like Garo from his start to like up until Spiral Garo, I would place him top of S tier, no problems, like no doubts in my mind. Because Spiral Garo is peak One Punch Man for me. But it's just that he gets so degraded afterwards. Like, he just turns into like such a... just like, oh, I'm not a good guy, guys. I want to be evil. And then he just turns into such a... like, I don't want to say bad words on a stream, but he just completely degrades so much. He becomes a tsundere, he doesn't even know what he wants anymore. It's like, oh, you're secretly good inside, all that spiel going on. Like, his interactions with Metal Bat are annoying. Like, you can't have him go from, like, looking badass in one panel and declaring that he'll be like the ultimate evil that subjugates the world, and then like a couple chapters later he looks all goofy and like is fighting a gag battle pretty much, and then he gets power from God and he's like, oh, thank you. Like, his whole goal is to be the strongest so he can be the ultimate evil. If you received your power from someone, you're not the strongest anymore, my guy. Like, why are you thanking him? You should be thinking of how to surpass him or how to resist the power or whatever. You know, like, I just think Cosmic Garo doesn't make all too much sense. Cosmic Garo is really cool, don't get me wrong. Like, he's really cool. But I don't think he makes sense character-wise for Garo. How would Cell do in One Punch Man? Cell beat everyone aside from Cosmic Garo. Saitama God, maybe Blast. I would say Cell is... depends a little bit on where you scale Saitama and Garo currently. If you think their feat of like destroying all those stars in the distance was squared, because it says like power squared in the name of the chapter and it's called like the Serious Sponge Squared. So if you think that that fist was like squared and stuff, then I think Cell is actually stronger than them at the moment. But if you think they scaled to that feat of destroying all those stars in the distance, then I think they probably beat Cell. Although if you go by like the data books for Dragon Ball, there's a statement that the solar system in Dragon Ball is actually referring to like a nebula or something, and Cell can destroy that, so that's an upscale for Cell. Not really sure how that would compare to Saitama's feat and stuff, but you know, it's something. But other than Saitama Garo, like, he's beating everybody else. Blast, like someone said, maybe Blast could keep up as well, who knows. I think One Punch Man characters don't really have the speed to keep up with Dragon Ball though. Like, that's the main thing, because Cell is a lot faster than even the best feats for Saitama and Garo, I think. Nappa and Vegeta versus Momoshiki and Kinshiki. Oh, I think Momoshiki and Kinshiki definitely win. Webcomic Garo, in my opinion, is much better than manga Garo. Yeah, I would agree. I know what happens in the webcomic. I haven't read it, but I know what happens, and I would definitely agree. Nappa is one of the best DBZ characters. Ghost Nappa. Yeah, Ghost Nappa was really cool. I like that he came back as a Hollywood producer as well. Then Suiryu next up. I'd place him like probably bottom of B tier. Actually no, C tier, because he hasn't done anything since his first introduction arc. Like he's been in a couple cameo appearances, but not anything else. He's cool, he's fun. He's like goes through a little mini arc of his own. Like he's fun. He's good to have around. Moomin Rider. I think he's like his selflessness and like the whole deal with deep seeking is good, but he just hasn't done anything in forever. I think he's bottom of C tier. He just hasn't done anything in so long. Like he's not been present at all. What if Saitama never met the Big Chin Kid? Would he still decide to start training? Maybe, who knows? Maybe there would have probably been like another inciting incident for him to start training at some point. I think due to fan base around Boros and because he was a well-written villain, he cannot afford to humiliate Boros. But I imagine a canon version of Boros was stronger than the cosmic version. Or than Cosmic Garo. It's possible, I'll say that, but like, I'm not sure, because like, Garo is obviously a fan favorite and they butchered him for me personally and for many people as well, so I don't know, I'm not very confident in their writing currently. I hate anime power scaling, it's so inconsistent, you can wank people to ridiculousness. Yeah, for sure. Like that's the main thing that ruined Naruto for me, it's power scaling. I don't want to get into too much power scaling with One Punch Man. Deep Seeking is fine, I'll say D tier, above Metal Bed though. Carnage Kabuto is fine, I'll say D tier below Metal Bed. Boros, easy top of S tier. I'm just gonna speedrun these real quick, I don't want to stick around for too long now because I'm getting kind of sleepy. I'll say My Mask, he's like bottom of C currently, he hasn't done that much. Gyoro or Psychos, I will include Psychos with Gyoro. I think she's solid, like, next to Rover and Elder Centipede. Saitama, I'll say A tier is like, I'll say just below Bang. Because for me, Saitama, I really like his serious side, but I don't like his comedic side. I'm just not really that much into comedy. Like, I like it at certain points where, like, King, for example, or like Toby from Naruto. But Saitama's form of comedy just isn't that funny to me. So, but I do like his serious side, like the depressed side of Saitama. I wish they leaned into that a little bit more. Boros would love to be in Dragon Ball. Oh yeah, for sure. I do want to make a what if about that. I just joined the stream, what are you ranking them based off? Just character, like how much I like their characters. Not power scaling, not like objectively who's the best character, just how much I like them. By the way, the title already happened. The thing in the title where like streaming the first 4 minutes of like part 15. That already happened. I'd much prefer to have the creators care about consistency and continuity in their work. Yeah, over power scaling, yeah. To be fair, Nappa is like really strong. He's like 800 times stronger than an average human. Oh, he's way more than 800 times stronger. Like, what is a good comparison? Like a farmer in Dragon Ball is a power level of 5, and power levels aren't linear. Like that farmer, like if you increased him by like 200 times, he's not blowing up the moon, because like Roshi is like blowing up the moon with a power level of like 139 or something. So like Roshi already going from like farmer to moon level is crazy. And that's just going from like a power level of 5 to like 150 or like 139 or whatever his power level was. Nappa is like 4,000 and higher. He's like busting planets and stuff probably. So yeah, definitely way more than 800 times stronger. Why Watchdog this slow? Because he hasn't done anything and I don't get the hype. I think he's really overrated. Personally. I like the Saitama and Sonic comedy. Oh yeah, Saitama and Sonic are cool. Like that whole dynamic is really fun. I really want to see Goku and Boros be best friends. They would be probably after Boros did some reforming. Dude, what if Nappa was in One Punch Man? He would probably come in, just kill a bunch of people, and then get clapped up by Saitama at some point. That's probably what would happen. Watchdog Man just beat Garo. Yeah. Since the Hero Association is new, what was happening before that? Are monsters a new concept in the world? I'm not too sure, but we know Blast has been operating for like 20 years already. So obviously there has been like instances of God appearing and stuff like that before. Or like God doing stuff way before the Hero Association was introduced to the world. So I would say that monsters were like a kind of a regular occurrence, and then the heroes just like became... The Hero Association formed because of Saitama. Because like Saitama rescued the kid of one of the executives of the association who later formed the association. So monsters were a thing before the Hero Association, for sure. Like far before that. Have you read Berserk? I have not, but I do want to read it. It's on my list of things to read. Guts hero ranking in One Punch Man. From what I know, he's kind of like unhinged, so he probably wouldn't be rated very high because of his whole like image and stuff. Because, you know, like the hero ranks are mostly based not off strength, but off popularity, off public perception, things like that. Flashy Flash, I'll say probably like near the top of B tier for me. I like him a lot. Sonic, for now I'll say bottom of B. He can go a lot higher. Actually, with webcomic, with hindsight, because I have read his portion of the webcomic, I'll say he's bottom of A tier, because I really like him in the webcomic. Blackass, for me, he's gonna be around here, I'll say. Like bottom of A tier. Homeless Emperor is cool, he can be like middle of B tier. Phoenix Man. Pre-redraw, I would have him at like C, but post-redraw, I'll put him at D because he's really lame post-redraw. Fubuki, she has some good development. I'll say she's like solid near bottom of B. Actually, no, I'll say near the top of B tier. Gokitsu is really cool, middle of B tier. This is like the cadre ranking, middle of B tier pretty much. Gums does nothing, E tier. Fear Ugly is D, I'll say. Orochi, I really like him, but I think he was underutilized. I'll say top of B tier. And then Evil Natural Water, I'll say D tier, because he's just water. Okay, there we go. That's the ranking. I'm not doing any more for today. Hold up, Gyoro is a woman. How in the first name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit did I miss that? Oh, like, Gyoro is like a meat puppet for psychos. Like, it's not actually, like, alive, or anything. Like, it doesn't have a gender. So I'll just say it's she because of psychos, you know? Like, Gyoro here is supposed to represent psychos. I just couldn't find her here. I really hate the number scaling that Dragon Ball started because it always doesn't make sense. Well, I won't say it doesn't make sense, but it can get annoying at times. Boros could replace Frieza, Boros versus Frieza. I think Frieza wins, for sure. Frieza's like a casual starbuster, whereas Boros needs like to go all out to bust a star. But it's pretty... like, in terms of narrative, if I did like a what if Boros was in Dragon Ball, there are two paths I would take. Either he becomes like as strong as Frieza for the plot, and he's like a sort of a rival to Frieza, or he would be near the level of his canon self and be like more so similar to like Saiyan Saga characters, and then he would join during the Saiyan Saga and then go to Namek and stuff and grow stronger from there. What do you know about Boros Form 4 in the webcomic?
I know the fourth form was a scrapped concept, and that's pretty much it. What characters do you think can surpass Blast? Not too sure. Maybe like Tatsumaki with a ton of training. Other than that, I can't really see any of the heroes even coming close to Blast. Maybe Garo could eventually reach those levels again where he surpasses Blast. Sonic has been growing a lot, but I don't think he's gonna be Blast level. Genos, maybe, but I don't think so. Like, I don't think Genos is reaching Blast levels of power. I'll say the most likely candidate is like Tatsumaki if she goes to like study under Blast and like learn a lot of his abilities and stuff maybe. Like, who knows? I'd say Tatsumaki is the best candidate alongside Garo. Nappa into the tier list. Add Nappa into the tier list or this will become a Dragon Ball Live. I don't really have time for that. I could technically edit this tier list probably. It's not mine, but I could try to like put a character in there. But all in all, I'm not gonna do that right now. 130 moon level versus 4000 planet level doesn't make sense. It does if you go by like the pretty much the fact that power levels aren't linear in the series. Because like with power levels you can see like Vegeta with a power level of 24,000 completely like no diffs Dodoria with a power level of 22,000. So like power levels just aren't that linear in the series. I liked Ugly. He was low-key scary, especially what I did to Tank Top and a My Mask. Yeah, I can put him up in C tier. So that's fine. He's cool. Like, he's ugly, but he's cool. King slabs Blast. Well, yeah, I didn't mention King because King is above Blast level, obviously, you know. What if Boros got Cosmic Fear mode? People don't like hearing this, but I think he might beat Saitama. Like, I think if he went all out in Meteoric Burst, Cosmic Fear mode, I think he could actually, like, unironically beat Saitama at the point in time with which they fought. If he didn't kill Saitama right off the bat, though, Saitama would probably get a surge of emotions from having a good fight finally and then surpass Boros, I would say. Hidden my boy Nappa, Dirty Nappa is at least S tier. Nappa's not on the tier list though. Or are you talking about Saitama because he's bald? I don't know. But anyways, I'll probably go because I do want to get some sleep, wake up early tomorrow, go back to editing. King is legit the most powerful character because his luck is always on his side. Yeah, he has Saitama as his stand, and even when he doesn't, he still finds ways to get out of situations. But I'll probably get going now. So, I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Part 15 of What If Boros Turned Good is around 80% completed, so in terms of editing. So, watch out for it coming out this weekend, probably. Well, Geno surpassed Tatsumaki or Bang in terms of strength. I think he's already surpassed Bang in terms of, like, raw physical power and stuff, because he's clashing with Sairochi. Ads. From YouTube, from the background music. Yeah, well, Geno surpassed Tatsumaki, though. I don't think so, but he could. Like, it's definitely possible. Cosmic Fear Boros would be called Starfall Boros. That's a pretty interesting name. That does sound badass. Let me ask you something. Do you, good sir, know the original story of the Sleeping Beauty? Long story short, it's not the childhood story our mamas told us. I do not. But in my country, stories for kids involve people dying brutally and like getting their insides carved out by crows, and that stuff gets told to kids. So it's like that You know that whole like Atlas myth where like he gets tied up? Not Atlas. Wait, no, Prometheus, I think, like something like that. I'm not sure the English name of the Titan, but he like in Greek mythology he gets like tied to a rock and then like tortured by a bird eating his insides. That's literally what happens in our children's fairy tales, but more gory. Like that's the country I come from. What's this list about power? No, it wasn't. It's just about characters. If it was power based, it would be very wildly different. Bye, guys. Yeah, see ya. You should sleep too. I don't know if it's just me, but you sound tired, man. Yeah, I am kind of tired for now. Because I have been editing nonstop for the last few days. So, I am kind of tired. So I'll probably end the stream. So, hope you guys have a good rest of the day or night, wherever you're from. And see you next time. See you at the premiere for the part 15 of